Welcome back to the Playtime channel. Today, Seven Swans, Sufjan Stevens. Wheel.
Wheel time. Time to see what Babby will win.
Big money. Ooh,
Too close.
too close.
I think last time it was like that too.
Yeah.
All right. Another good for
Okay.
Babby.
Another good. It's just a shame because I want everything not in good. Um.
You got a lot of
We
good
got some
stuff on
options
here.
here. I do. Um. I think I'm gonna steal it for you. We're gonna do Seven Swans.
What?
We have a wheel again.
What?
Finally, it's been forever. Yeah, this is my pick. It's kind of both of our picks. This isn't really a normal wheel spin because I think we've both been wanting to listen to this for a couple years at this point, and we just never did it for some reason.
Yes.
But here we are, finally, with Seven Swans. What have we done on the channel? We've done Illinois, we've done Javelin, and we've done, what was the EP? All Delighted
All
People?
delighted people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be the earliest Sufjan we listened to, 2004, year before Illinois. Yeah, I'm really excited. I know this one is very Christian imagery coded. I know it's very acoustic. And yeah, I feel like this is a blind spot in Sufjan. I think I've done most of his major releases, but for some reason, haven't done this one or Michigan. Those are the two that I'm missing. So, yeah, I'm very excited for this though.
Yes, me too. I think we will be doing Age of Ads at some point, and then we will do Michigan too, because I've heard very good things about that. But yeah, I'm very excited. I love Sufjan. I say Sufjan is like one of my favorite artists, but really the only albums I've heard from him are the ones that we've done on the channel and Carrie and Lowell. I feel like I haven't fully like dove into his career because of this dumb little YouTube thing we do. So I'm excited to fill in this blind spot. I'm assuming it's going to be great. But we'll get started with track 1. All the trees of the field will clap their hands.
Back at it with the titles.
Not a lot of long titles, just this one really.
He's a baby.
I know, it's so weird. All right. That was All the Trees of the Field Will Clap Their Hands.
Very good. I like that a lot. Yeah, I think this is like very still signature Sufjan sound. I think he still had it at this time. I think Illinois was like really taking the most of that, and this being a little more stripped back, I think is really nice. Love the banjo when he's on the banjo. Great. I also love how the layering is very, I don't want to say simplistic, but like every, verse chorus, there's a new element added. You can really track along as the progression goes, and it's really nice. Piano playing off the banjo was fantastic. The banjo itself was like doing a lot of really nice things here. We had some dissonant chords going in there, really great. Yeah, I love the background vocals too. That's something in Sufjan's music that is just like really, really, really transcendent. Whenever they have those backing vocals on things,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think lyrically I'm going to be like lost for this entire record, and that's fine. I don't think it's going to be like strictly like this is a Christian album, this is biblical. I think there's multiple meanings you can pull out of it, but I'm not prepared to talk about those at this moment. But great track.
Yes, I think it's kind of interesting because, you know, like you said, this came out a year before Illinois, but so much, especially this track, I was getting so much Javelin from it.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, like Everything That Rises, or even the beginning of Goodbye Evergreen, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like these like really kind of stripped back. You know, we always think of whenever we bring up Sufjan, I feel like we're always like they bring in the horns in folk. That's so Sufjan. But it's like this really doesn't have any of that, and it's really really great. I will say I was raised Christian, maybe a little too Christian. This is very very biblical. The way that it is like written feels like it's straight out of the NIV. But uh, that's fine. I'm not gonna read into that. I just like the beautiful song, so that's all I need. And yeah, very very nice. We'll move on to track 2, which is The Dress Looks Nice on You.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can see a lot of life in you. I can see a lot of bright in you. And I think the dress looks nice on you. I can see a lot of life in you. When the world looks back, when the face looks after them, I can see a lot of life in you. Yes, I can see a lot of life in you.
That was The Dress Looks Nice on You.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I think in this genre you hear songs like this where they're like 2.5 minutes and like they're so incredibly potent and it's like a really short song, but it feels like it's a true folk song because I think a lot of people could do it, but none could do it as good as Sufjan here.
Oh yeah.
I think the layering on this is fantastic with the guitars and the banjos playing together. A little bit of the piano coming in too in the third verse, I think. Really, really, really nice. I think the lyrics here are like a lot more. I don't know. I'm able to get a lot more out of these than the first track.
Yes.
At least it's not as blatant. Yeah, this one's a really, really, really nice track.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd go so far as to say that's a masterpiece. That was so
Okay.
freaking good. But you know, I'm heavily biased towards, you know, your finger picked guitars. And I'm a fan of Sufjan on the banjo as well. And I think that it created this really, really nice atmosphere. I almost wanted that to be like 4 minutes long. That one was so nice. I loved it. So, yeah, this is turning out better than I was expecting already. But we'll just move on. Track 3, In the Devil's Territory. All right. That was In the Devil's Territory.
Fantastic. That might be my favorite so far.
Hmm.
Pulling out the 3/4 waltz,
Yeah.
crazy. He did it so well. The layering and everything is just so impressive, and the way he still like carves himself a lane for these kind of like story-driven tracks is working really, really well for me. I think lyrically, I draw to this track a lot more too. It obviously has the religious overtones, but I love when you pull in more grounded ideas and things, and then you pull in weird stuff like dragons and witches. I think Big Thief does that especially well, and that's why I love that writing. I think Phil Elverum is maybe the master of doing that, so that's the kind of writing that I really am drawn to,
Mm.
where you're kind of mixing these grounded concepts and adding these like more fictional contextual elements or nature elements and stuff like that, and really bringing it together. So yeah, that was a fantastic ride. I love the progression of it too, and there's the Sufjan quirks are always there. Switching keys, you have these like weird instruments coming in.
Yeah.
It's just so Sufjan, and it just works really, really well.
Yeah, I think this one's definitely a nice change of pace. I think this album would have gotten stale if it was just acoustic guitar and banjo throughout the entire thing. I think bringing in those horns and then like the UFO sound like crept in, and then there was like a
Yeah, I forgot the name of that instrument. It's the one you.
theremin. Oh,
Yeah, maybe
oh
that's what it
no,
is. I think it's that guy. Yeah,
like woo, whatever.
yeah.
And then there was like a bit compressed like horn, or I don't even know what that was. It was
Mhm.
like I don't. It was there were some weird choices being made on that song, but wow, what a ride! It's very very good. All right, the Big Gun track
Oh, geez.
4, To Be Alone with You.
I swim across Lake Michigan. I sell my shoes. I give my body to be back again in the rest of the room. To be alone with you. To be alone with you. To be alone with you. To be alone
All right, that was To Be Alone with You, Jim.
Me?
You.
I think it's a masterpiece. I think I'll throw it out there. Yeah, I think the themes of this record being very biblical, I think you shouldn't view it just that way. Everything about this track is just like so well done. The melody is fantastic. It's catchy. It's immediately recognizable. But then like the verses could obviously be about Jesus, but it could also be about a lover. It could be about so many different things, and I think that's where the brilliance of it really shines. When we always do these Sufjan videos, the genius comments are always like, "Is this about him being gay or is this religious?" And I'm like, it can be both at the same time, or it could be none at the same time. I think that's the beauty of his art, is he's able to tie all these themes together in like one little package. It's less than 3 minutes, and you get such a good amount of lyrical content in this track. And it flows so well. I love the hook kind of changing to Be Alone with You, and then it goes to Be Alone with Me. The progression is very subtle in this track, but it works really well, and his lyrics are, his vocals too. I'm still loving his vocals, like this kind of like, I missed his whispery tone a little bit, and I'm really liking it here. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is his like most overtly Christian. I mean, that whole second verse is like tying
Yeah.
specific references to Jesus. But yeah, I guess the song as a whole can just be like interpreted about sacrifices to someone you love, whether it be a material person here on earth or a spiritual deity in the heavens above. And I think it's really well done. It has this really kind of quiet, intimate feel, which is great about a song about love. So, no complaints. Very, very nice. I'm sure this next one won't be biblical at all. Track 5 is Abraham.
It's about Abraham Lincoln. This was still on the 50 state project. It was a warm up for Illinois.
It was a tease for Illinois.
Abraham, worth a righteous one, take upon the wood, put it on your son.
All right, that was Abraham.
Fantastic. I like that one a lot. Again, no idea lyrically, but I don't need to. And that's the good part about this record is like this guitar part is so phenomenal that like I understand the entirety of the emotion he's getting at without him saying a single word, and I think that's brilliant. We've been in For Emma, we've been in Bon Iver, I've been doing the entire Mount Erie discography, so this kind of like disparate, just a guitar, just mixing like that where you let the guitar just sustain and you get to live in this kind of feeling of the notes that he's putting out, and it works phenomenal here. I think it's a really, I could just listen to that guitar part for like 10 minutes. It's fantastic. Just like in songs like this and folk where it's like there's not a lot of layers, there's not a lot of anything, you have to make every part count. And I think when the guitar part itself can tell the story of the song for you without needing the lyrics at all, it's fantastically done. But yeah, I think vocals on this track are wonderful as well. Lyrics wise, don't ask me.
I can help a little bit. Because yeah, this is just a short and sweet kind of version of the story of Abraham and Isaac. Abraham is a very important figure in all of the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And I don't know if this story is throughout all of them, but basically God was like, Abraham, you should murder your son for me to prove that you love me. And I'm pretty sure the story goes that like Abraham and his wife were like really old, and it was like kind of a miracle that they had a son in the first place because they had been trying for decades. And so then God's like, you finally got what you wanted. Now kill him for me. And Abraham's like, okay, I'll do it. So then he goes up to the top of the mountain and is like, I'm going to murder my son now. I have him tied up and I'm going to raise the knife. And then an angel comes down and is like,
it's a prank.
It was a joke. You weren't actually supposed to do it.
Okay, I have heard that one.
Yes. And so that's what the last little bit is. Abraham, put off your son, take instead the ram, because he unties his son, and then instead kills a sheep. And that led to that
We all
tradition.
know it's a lesser being. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always thought that story was kind of fucked up, but, whatever. I thought that the song was very, very beautiful. And that's really all I'll say about that. It was very, very good.
I understood the story of Job, and that's like kind of similar. He was just like, can you kill someone for me? And he's like, actually, no. Hold up.
Yeah, if any of those
Test.
those Old Testament stories are like just God fucking with people, being like, "Hey, funny joke." So very, very nice. The song, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. Track 6 is Sister, and it's 6 minutes long on the dot.
Fantastic.
sailboats to ride on its back. What the water wants is sun-kiss, and land to run into and back. I have a fish stone burning my elbow, reminding me to know that I'm glad I have a bottle filled with my own teeth. They fell out like a tear in my back. I'll show you the sky.
All right, that was Sister.
Very nice. Yeah, 6-minute track. It definitely feels different than everything we've heard so far.
Yes.
I think this is the precursor to Jaharia. It's a different
I was
sister.
gonna say the same thing.
It's I think built almost the same way too, which is not a bad thing. I think Jaharia is maybe the strongest track on that All Deleted People EP.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think the style of it is a little bit too far-fetched for this record. I think it fits on that record a lot more because it is a little bit more scrapbooky. This one has felt very tight so far, and I think the electric guitar specifically felt like there was a little bit you could have done to like fit the track a little bit better. It got a little messy towards the midpoint. And I think the tone could have been a little bit better, but I still really enjoyed the track. I think it's still really sweet sentiment. I think he has a track for all of his sisters. I think one of them's on like a Christmas album or something. But
Yes.
yeah, pretty good track. I really like the build up. I'm loving the atmosphere he's creating here on this record. But yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same exact thing when I was like, this feels like Jaharia, but just like a blueprint of it. And I think that Jaharia is a fantastic song. One of the rare times early in the Boy Time career where a 16-minute song got a big thumbs up from Jerry. But man, that song is so good. And yeah, I think that this one is like, okay, it's kind of doing the same thing, but just a little bit sloppier. So yeah, not quite as good as everything else on the album, but pretty good and a nice sentiment. So can't complain too much. But we'll just move on. Track 7 is Size Too Small.
I was the best man in a size too small. You were my best friend, going at it all. And what if I put off my inheritance? Would you surprise us in a size for all of me? I still know you, and I still like you the best, man. I still know you the best, man. I still owe you.
Abrupt ending, but that was Size Too Small.
Fantastic. Classic sad Sufjan song, which means they're always amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Lyrical themes of just like not having feelings reciprocated and just like eating him up for the whole song. Yeah, I feel like I don't have too much to say about it, but it is just one of those Sufjan magic things where I'm like, this is so sad but so good at the same time.
Yeah. This one felt so visual, where it's like, you know, the opening lines, him as the best man at a wedding of a friend that he has feelings for, but that friend obviously is not reciprocating as they are getting married to someone. And that kind of image. I mean, we've definitely like seen that in like rom-coms before, so it's pretty easy to
Yeah.
like, okay, I've seen this and I can kind of put an image to the song. And I think the song was pretty good. I don't know if it's like the best on here, but I thought it was pretty decent in terms of I just love a finger picked Sufjan song, so
Right.
can't lose. All right. Next track, track 8. We won't need legs to stand.
So faithful, so few, so pardoned and done. And when we receive, we give a change at last. And when we are dead, we all have wings. We won't need legs to stand.
We won't need legs to stand.
Real. Very good. I like that one a lot. Yeah, I like the banjo arpeggio going. You got the guitar in the right ear. Everything has like this sour note to it almost. I don't know if it's minor key, but it's very kind of like sour and off-putting and dissonant, which is really cool. I think even his vocals on it, he does a really nice job of staying in that pocket. I think he's done that on a lot of records. I think Age of Ads, we will see that the most. But I love this kind of style from him too. It's very different and it makes him very unique as an artist because I don't really see anybody really doing stuff like that. It's very interesting for a folk song. I don't know. I really like that one. It reminded me of like some of the stuff on Blur's 13, which is a really weird reference, but same kind of sour, like weird dissonant tone to things reminded me of that record. But yeah, very nice.
Yeah, yeah. I think for a little short and sweet kind of in betweener song, I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if I have a whole lot to say that you haven't already said, but very nice. Track 9, A Good Man is Hard to Find.
Real.
Once in the backyard, she was once like me. She was once like me. Twice when I killed them, they were once at peace. They were once like me. And so I go to hell, I wait for it, but someone's left me creased, and someone's left me creased.
That was a good man. It's hard to find.
Very nice. Kind of like a outlaw country folk song.
Yeah.
Really cool. I always love that kind of stuff. Reminded me a lot of John Wasey, or
John
John Wayne, whatever it
Gacy.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, off of Illinois. Same kind of concept, I think. Even some of the lyrics and the way he was saying them was very similar.
Mhm.
But that's one of his best songs. So this is fantastic. Still got the Sufjan quirk in there, adding some different instruments and stuff on the back half. Yeah, I love a good song about like, murder on a Christian album. I think it's really good.
Wait, you think John Wayne Gacy is one of Sufjan's best songs?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Without a doubt.
Wow. Okay. Well, I was going to make the same comparison. I don't know if I would go so far as to say that John Wayne Gacy is one of Sufjan's best. I do like that song quite a bit. It's fun to play on the guitar. But yeah, I don't know. That one was like, it kind of was like, I don't know why this is on this album. Seems kind of weird and out of place, but I don't know. I like the sound of it. I mean, I'm always a fan of outlaw country. So yeah, I think I'm just kind of like, oh, that's weird.
Mhm.
It's gonna take some more listens, I think, to get used to that one. But it's nice. Track 10, He Woke Me Up Again. The Darned Neighbor.
Oh, dang it.
Should have been in
Stop mowing
parentheses.
your lawn at 7 a.m.
He was in the churchyard. My father was in the first part. He came to my bedroom, but I was asleep. And he woke me up again to say,
If this was Illinois, that outro would have been 20 seconds. Its own song.
Its own song.
That was He Woke Me Up Again.
I enjoy it. I think that crosses over into sing this at Sunday school song, and I think it crosses that over a little bit too much for me to find too much replayability or enjoyment in the lyrical content. But the progression of the track, fantastic. I still love the guitar part and everything. It just felt a little bit more church ready than a lot of these. I think his mature stance on religion for a lot of these has been really great. I think this, like, for me, there's too much of a disconnect on this one particularly. But yeah, I still like the sound of it.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely feel that. I was kind of like looking through the like producer, because I'm like, this sounds like something that they would play. But my church used to play Cat Stevens songs, so maybe not a very good comparison. But yeah, I thought that one was pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you though. This feels like I don't know, youth pastory.
That was my
Yeah,
yeah.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but not for me. 100%.
Daniel Smith, the producer here, has credits on Beyonce, Fiona Apple, Earth, Wind and Fire, Sufjan, Incubus, DJ Khaled.
Oh, we the best music.
That's a
Oh, that's a collection of
pretty
people.
good spread. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh. All right. Well, we have the title track, track 11, Seven Swans.
Should have put it at track 7.
That's a very good point. Seven Swans, the song.
Fantastic. Yeah, this was obviously a centerpiece, and I think he did a great job with it. I think the build-up was worthy of the outro. Um, Incredible outro. I think the best part of the record there, probably. I love the kind of like, it's gorgeous, but it's terrifying at the same time. They clash together. You have this weird dissonance and the vocals going. It's like these lyrics could be, it's like if you run, he will chase you, and then it's just like he is the Lord for constant. I'm like, this is terrifying, but it's also like insanely like pretty the way he arranged it. I think in his career, he's had better crescendos. He's had better big moments like this. I think Shit Talk and
Yeah.
the last track on Age of Ads, I think do that better than this. But at the same time, I love just like using your voice as this kind of dissonance, like beauty and terror all in the same thing here. So yeah, really, really fantastic outro. It's insane how well he's able to capture these ideas too. And then like this is, really early on in his career. I mean, this is his fourth record. So fantastic.
Is this that we have one more song? This isn't the outro.
No, it's not. But the outro of this song.
Oh, I see. I thought you were saying like the outro of the album. I'm like, wait, am I missing something? Is track 12 something that came out after? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, this is obviously a thing playing on Revelation, which is probably the best book in the Bible. Of like all of the books, it's like, I think it was written from one of Jesus's disciples. I don't remember which one, but after Jesus died, like all of them were killed in horrific ways. And the one that wrote Revelation was like going crazy in a prison cell and like wrote down all of this stuff. And then it was like, that's a prophecy for the end of days. And it's like, no, it's an insane person in a prison cell who's like starving to death and like just like going crazy. And I think that like all of those like weird like number things, like it's kind of perfectly encapsulated here. Yeah, I really love the kind of dread that it kind of builds in the beginning, and then that big explosion at the end that is, the end of days, which is pretty sick. So big win for me. Well, let's close this ish out with track 12, The Transfiguration.
Disciples to the mountainside to pray. His countenance was modified, his clothing was a flame. Two men appeared, Moses and Elijah came. They were at his side. The prophecy, the legislation spoke of whenever he would die. The face of God covered in a cloud.
Wait.
God is in Chicago.
All right. Abrupt ending to the Transfiguration.
Very good. Yeah. What a weird outro.
Yeah.
I think it works really well, actually. I think, again, we are very, very deep in the religious things where like there's not really much else you can interpret, but I think it is done a lot better than like He Woke Me Up Again. I like this track a lot more, and I would go back to it. Yeah, I think the Chicago tie-in like works. It's fine. I think the way they built all the layering and stuff still made it like a very nice like wow moment at the end of the record, which I enjoyed. Yeah, this song obviously points out the true Holy Land, which is Chicago,
Of course.
and references my favorite band, Lamb of God. So that's what I got from that.
That's the only thing you got from the song. Yeah, no, I thought that one was really, really good. I will say it kind of surprised me. I think it was captured in the reaction where I'm like, wait, why? Wait, is this Chicago? Why are they doing Chicago? But I will say I do really like when artists do this, where like the last song kind of ties directly into the kind of sound that they're going to be elaborating on more in their next project. It's what I'm hoping The Weeknd's gonna do in his new record.
So, yeah.
Because that last song on Dawn FM is very
City
pop, and it's very different from everything else. And this song is, you know, it has the Sufjan horns, which are like for the first time, and it's like those come back in full swing in the next record, which came out just over a year later. So, yeah, very, very good. I like that song quite a bit. And then I guess the album as a whole, very nice. I think it's going to take some more listens for me. I did like most of these songs, but I do think that some of the religious elements, while they are present in the other Sufjan records, they aren't as like in your face necessarily as they are on this one. And that kind of took me out a little bit, just because of my own religious background and whatever. So I think I'll have to like learn to kind of separate it. But yeah, there's that one youth pastor song, and then the rest of them are like, some of them are like more personal stuff, which is what I really resonate with more when it comes to Sufjan, or like these kind of like bite-sized tales about his life, because he's such an interesting person. Where some of the like, you know, blatantly religious stuff I don't really vibe with 100%, but I thought that this one was very, very nice.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice collection of folk songs, and they're all done like at minimum really good.
Yeah.
Like they all have the great basis of fantastic folk albums, and I think there's enough range and variety here that makes it like you can tell this is a Sufjan record immediately. He has his signature on all these records, and it comes out here in a really nice way as well. Yeah, the religious stuff, I was not raised religious at all, so I have zero context for any of the stuff he was talking about, which might make it easier to get with it, but like at the same time, it's like I don't have a context for it. A lot of the records that like I love a lot, there's definitely some that are like very religious, but I think they flip them in a context where like I'm able to like understand a lot of it more. This one feels very like drawing straight from the Bible.
Yes.
But at the same time, that doesn't like ruin too much enjoyment for me. I think a lot of folk records, I the ones I connect to most are the ones I can relate to the most. I think that's just how I am with this genre, so I can't see this one growing too much on me. But it's still a really good like piece in Sufjan's catalog. I don't think I'd put it over a lot of his stuff, which
Yeah.
might be a hot take, but at the same time, I understand the brilliance of this record, but I also understand that like this is not the one I'm gonna go to. It'd be have to be like a very specific thing for me to like want to put this on. Maybe if I want folk Sufjan and I don't want to be sad, I'll switch from Carrion Lowell to Seven Swans.
There you
That
go.
might be the play.
It's-
Although
it's
I
more
also have the
approachable.
Angelo De Augustine collab for that, so
That's true. That is
and
such an
Javelin got some of
underrated
that,
one.
too. Yes. Yeah. But
Yeah.
very good overall. Fantastic.
Yeah, very, very nice. But with that being said, we have a wheel to spin. We haven't spun a wheel in five months, I think.
Long have we waited.
Wheel.
Wheel.
I'm hoping for a yikes today.
Careful.
Close.
What do you got? The semi.
This is a good question.
Oh man. Just remember, I was very nice to you with this pick.
I don't think there's
Actually, Lobby
anything.
Regan.
Oh, get out of here. Where did Neil Young? Oh, I moved Neil Young up. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Do we keep with the religious? We could do Cat Stevens. Um.
I know what I want.
What do you want?
I want mountain goats, actually.
Okay. Mountain goats it is.
Let's go.
I don't remember what this sounds like. I know someone suggested it a long time ago. And I listened to one track, I think, and I was like, yeah, I like that. So then I added it. But we'll do it. A surprise pick. All right. Next week, Mountain Goats Tallahassee. Well, actually, not next week. Actually, I don't know when this video is coming out.
Yeah. This will be coming.
It will be coming soon. We are going to be doing, or have done, King Gizzard. Was it La Risque? Is that what that album's called?
No, it's Flight B741.
Oh, La Risque is the song.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Yes, we will be doing that. I think that's the only, like, immediate new release. Soccer Mommy and I don't know. I think that's it. That it's been released that we were planning on doing.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's it. Fun stuff. Check out our podcast that we do. It's called the Boy Time Podcast. And we talk about movies and what we're listening to now. So it's a great... Yes. It's a great podcast. We are going to, or have done already, the great Boy Time feature on Cyberpunk 2077. So check that out if you like or dislike that game and get our opinions on it. So there you go. That's it for me.
I have nothing to add. You covered all of our bases.
Nice.
Praise God.
Shalom.
Shalom.